Welcome everybody, this is Flying David. Glad that you tuned in to this new video in 2017. Hope you're all doing well, hope you had some great nice holidays. I was pretty busy over the holidays, over Christmas and New Year's, family stuff going on, and a lot of parties. And yeah, now we're back in 2017 and I thought, well, let's give it a try, let's make a new video. Yeah, currently we are up here in Norway, parked in the Q400 in the Widerøe, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, Dash-8, and we're parked here in Torp, Sandefjord, which is the airport south of Oslo. And in this flight we are going to head to the west, to Bergen, and approach the nice airport of Bergen there. Flight time is approximately 1 hour, and yeah, so I think let's board the aircraft and let's do the other checks. See you in the cockpit. Okay, so welcome to the cockpit. I have done some planning already. We have 64 passengers on board, 1.185 tons of cargo, 2.2 tons of fuel. That gives us a gross weight of 27.25 tons of as a gross weight. I have turned on the APU. We're running on bleed air here because it's pretty cold outside, just 2 degrees. And yeah, so a few words on our routing, maybe. So let me show you that. So this is the flight plan that we have created. We are flying on flight level 220. We have 64 passengers on board. I told you that already. Let's have a look at the routing. We are flying the WIF416 Golf departure up on Zulu 129 to Pesur, and then we start the star, the arrival Pesur to Papa. Scheduled time of departure is 10 minutes past 1, so that's approximately in 10 minutes. So we are pretty much ready to go. I think the aircraft is boarded, so we should be ready to go. Few words on the weather here. We have 200 degrees, 9 knots here, few clouds in 2000, temperature 1, -1 dew point, QNH 0, 907. You can set that up already. And so tune it here on standby. Good. In Bergen we will have a pretty gusty weather, 11 to 21 knots, variable wind from northwesterly direction, vicinity with showers, low clouds here, and a wind in 1,200 feet of 24 knots. So this is going to be pretty interesting. What else have we got? Yeah, some charts here on the wind, and you see we're taking off here in Sandefjord, Torp to the south, then head up to the west, and you see we're having a constant headwind actually here in this altitude of flight level 210. We are going to fly on flight level 220, but it's the same for flight level 230. And I think that if we look up here in the flight plan, PFPX estimated an average wind component of 44 knots headwind. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, let me show you really quick the airport. We're parked here at, I think it was gate 2, right? Yes, we're parked here at gate 2, so here, and we're taking off on runway 18, so we'll taxi here on Whiskey 2 up to Charlie, along to Yankee here, up to this holding point, and this is where we're gonna depart then to the south. About the approach here, about the departure, Sandefjord Torp here on the south, pretty straightforward, WIF416 Golf, nothing too complicated here. Gonna make the turns here at maximum 220 knots. That shouldn't be a problem for our Dash-8, since we're going to be a little slower probably. So yeah. What we can also do already is, I'm gonna activate the windshield, the heat here. We need to set up the speeds, and therefore I'm going to use this wonderful application called AEROSOFT. Probably you know it. So this is a browser-based thing. You can usually I'm doing it with my iPad, but for this video, of course, I'm going to do it on on the browser here on the computer. So basically what it does is it calculates the takeoff performance. So I'm entering the airport here, which is Echo November Tango Oscar. We're gonna depart on runway 18. We'll go with normal takeoff power, flaps setting of 5, and the ice will be off. The condition of this runway is, well, let's say dry, and we can also get the weather here, or we can manually put it in here. So you see, we're now getting a different weather. This is due to the fact that I'm using a historical weather here. So this is a real world weather. So for this, I'm gonna set up, oops. What was the weather? Let's do a little weather check here, really quick. 4 knots. Yeah, variable 4 knots, but doesn't matter. 2 degrees, and the QNH is 90907. We enter the departure weight, takeoff weight, and then it calculates our speeds and all the necessary data that we need. So in this case, I can set the box here according to that information. So whoops, V1 is going to be 129, VR is going to be 129, V2 is going to be 130, whoops, and V-fry is going to be 140, flap reduction, and the V-climb 151. Good. You can set the nav source here to FMS1, set that up. You can close up now the aircraft and depart. Yeah, flight plan is already in there. Everything is set up also on the first officer side, so no problem. Let's check the door page really quick. Is it closed now? Yes, it is. So beacon light goes on. Quickly, let's read through the checklists. The trims should be set 3 times. Door and fueling lights are out. Passenger signs can come on. Well, they are. Cabin rear body is received. Flight deck door is locked, and collision light is set to red. APU bleed goes off. And then, yeah, let's start up the aircraft. I think we can taxi away from here. I'm gonna make a right turn. So the radio communication you hear in the background is because I'm using, I'm flying offline here with AI aircraft. So we're gonna switch here to, oops, something. Hopefully it's not existing, so that we don't hear anything. Okay. Engine number 2 is almost stabilized.
We would like to welcome you on board of our Dash-8 Q400.
We can start
the flight
engine
time
number
today
1.
will be approximately 2 hours. Would you please fasten your seatbelts and refrain from smoking? If you want to use any electronic equipment, we would kindly ask you to contact us first. For takeoff and landing, these devices must be switched off, and the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight. We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
Engine number 2, engine number 1 is also started. So after starts checklist, external power and APU goes off. Main bus ties off, electric panels are checked, condition levels go to max. Auto fader is set to selected white, fuel pumps, go on, hydraulics. Looks good. Flaps, gonna take up with flaps 5, rudder.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
we have your
he is
attention.
traveling.
International safety regulations. This aircraft
Yes,
has
it's trimmed a little bit to the right, which is correct. Nose wheel steering goes on. PFD, MFD, EDs checked. Bleeds go on, which they are minimum. De-icing pressure, yeah, it's checked. Icing protection, we've tested that before. TKIS goes on. And then we're ready to taxi. Activate the nose light here. Parking brake is off. Yeah, I didn't tell GSX that I want to taxi Sandefjord. Gonna taxi here to the right onto Whiskey 2, which is just in front of us over there.
Red tubes are located on both sides for blowing the additional air into the life vest. For more detailed information,
Okay,
please
taxi
refer to the
checklist.
safety
Brakes
instruction card and a
are
seatbelt
checked.
information.
Responsive takeoff warning
Thank you for your attention.
is tested and silent. Takeoff power is ENTO. Flight instruments. Yeah, we'll need to do a little radar check just when we are up there at the holding point. So you know what, guys, I'm gonna taxi up there to the runway. It's pretty straightforward taxi, and I'll see you at the departure point then. Okay, guys, welcome back. We are approaching the holding point here for runway 18. Yankee 18, and yeah, approach sector seems clear, so let's go. Lineup checklist. Landing collision light is white, landing lights are on, PWP static and isolation valve is on, bleeds go to minimum, that's already done. AFCS, heading select, alt cell and go around. Caution panel should be black, perfect, it is. So let's take off here in Sandefjord. Runway is, I think, 2000 something long, so enough runway for us, no problem. That was a little fast. Okay, so we are ready to go. Takeoff power. And of course, this button was not assigned. Takeoff power is set. All the feather is armed. White airspeed is alive. Takeoff power is set. There goes 80. And there's V1 and rotates.
Descend.
Positive rate, gear up. Little warning here, TKIS, no problem.
Increase descent.
Okay, I forgot to set the acceleration altitude, so we're gonna accelerate to about 1,800 feet. And there we're gonna climb to 1,800, then we're gonna accelerate, and so on. Forgot to do
Clear
that.
of conflict.
Okay, there we are. So put the power back to 900. Flaps can come up. And there we are. Okay, so let's activate the autopilot here. Nav mode. We have pitch hold, which is fine. In turbulent weather, the Dash-8 would be climbing in the pitch hold because it's easier for the aircraft, or more comfortable actually for the passengers, to avoid turbulences, and therefore the passengers will not experience them. So after takeoff, landing gear is up, flaps are retracted on 0, bleeds can come to normal now, and the climb power is set. We're gonna activate fuel pump, all of that stuff, and so on here, and we are in climb. Good. So very nice clouds here. I'm using Active Sky 16 and Active Sky Cloud Art ASCA. That was a really good purchase. Really nice features here. I really like it. Yeah, so we're climbing now. See you back then on cruise with some updates on this flight here. So, welcome back, guys. We're here on cruise, just a couple of miles before reaching our waypoint called IPMOT over here. And yeah, I thought let's do some descent planning or some approach planning. So if we have a look here at the chart of Bergen for the runway 35 that we are going to land on, we'll see that Pesur, which is our starting point of the star, is somewhere over here, and we need to follow this star here on 8,000, make a turn here at maximum 220 knots. This is just a little picture of a more detailed picture of this part, so let's switch over here. So from Bravo Romeo 736 we can continue the descent up to 6,500 or above. Follow this here at Ratuk, we have a holding possibility, 6,500 feet at maximum 220 knots. Down from Ratuk we continue the descent to 4,000 up to Godit, which is our initial approach fix. Then for the ILS approach, the ILS approach is pretty straightforward. From Godit we continue the descent to 3,000 up to this final approach point here at 7.4 from the Bergen DME, and we'll do a regular ILS category 1 approach. So this is it, basically nothing too serious here. Our threshold elevation is 147. We have a Cat 1 landing, so therefore we are going to fly with a decision altitude of, or actually it's not a, yeah, it's a decision altitude for category 1 of 347 feet. We can set that in our aircraft already. I'll switch over here and set to 350 as our minimum. We can set that already. Good. So we should be at IPMOT, at Pesur at 8,000 or above. So let's give it 8,500 here at Pesur, 1,800 as a vertical speed, and that's good. Top of descent point has been calculated in about 31 miles. That equals about 6 minutes, and here we have it on the chart already. We have our top of descent, so that we reach Pesur at 8,500. That's why we're going to continue that. Okay, that's it. So that was the little descent planning. See you then back during descent. Okay, welcome back, guys. We just started the VNAV descent, and interesting thing here, we have 80 knots headwind here on this altitude. So if you remember back, or if we have a look at our chart here on PFP, or the plan that PFPX generated, we see that we have a constant headwind actually here on this trip, so pretty accurate actually, and this is really what the simulator also shows. So pretty nice estimation and forecast. So we're currently descending down to 8,500 feet, and we have plenty of time left. But what we can do is we can think about our performance planning for the landing. So what we do is we use AEROSIM here again, and basically what we need to do is we need to enter the airport that we are going to land on. It's going to be Echo November Bravo Romeo Bergen. Then we select the runway 35. We're gonna land with well, we're going to have pretty gusty weather, so we're gonna use max RPM, flap setting of 15, and no anti-ice. Condition of this runway probably is going to be wet, so let's have a look at the weather at Bergen. We have, well, a wind with 23 knots coming from 320 degrees, gusting up to 36. Vicinity showers, we have towering cumulus, no precipitation is not reported, but I think it might be a wet runway, so we're gonna go with wet here. 320 with 32? No, 23, of course. 23 knots. Outside air temperature was 5, and the QNH there is 90907. Landing weight. Let's have a look at our landing weight. Currently it's estimated to be at around 26 tons and 3, so we're gonna go with this, should be good. And then we hit calculate, and it gives us the speeds that we need to enter. So we're gonna set the VREF here on 23, and we go around 112. Obviously, if you have a look at the speed chart, then you will see that the speed chart indicates to add 20 knots for icing conditions. So in case that we have icing conditions, if we encounter during the approach that we might land with anti-ice turn on, I'm going to activate the reference speed increaser, and this will give us an increased speed. Therefore we need to add 20 then during the approach, or in our mind. But yeah, so that's it. We're now following down the star. Not so interesting. We're gonna descend up, down to 6,500 and later on to 4,000. And yeah, so see you back then in the final approach. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we are finished with the descent. We're almost at the end of our star, and just before turning on to the final approach, we are currently at 4,000 feet, and we are approaching Godit here, where we make a left turn then to Idava, then make a right turn onto the final track. If we have a quick look at the approach chart, just give me a second here, we see that at 7.5 DME from Bravo Golf, we will have our final approach point, at which we basically start the descent on the glide slope. So what we can do is now run through the approach checklist. Altimeters are set 907, fuel transfer is off. Oh, we have ice detected. Give me a second. I'll set that now for the approach, and I think we can land with icing and under icing conditions. Fuel pumps can come on. Standby hydraulic and PTU can come on. Hydraulics are checked. Passenger sides are still on. Caution panel is black. Gonna activate the auto feeder, and yeah, the next one is that we continue with condition levels on max landing gear, but we will do that when turning into Idava. So we try to make to stay at between 180 and 200 knots. What we can do before turning onto this course, we can check really quick on the weather, destination weather. Yeah, and you see we'll have pretty bad weather actually, gusty conditions and so on. So 23, gusty 36, not too good. We're also a little bit behind schedule due to the strong wind that we had. So yeah, I don't know. Probably this will be a little late arrival, but yeah, not too bad. So let's descend down to 3000 alt saddle vertical speed. We're gonna descend down with about 1000 feet per minute. Gonna slow down here now, and yeah, let's tune in the heading here. Switch to heading select and change the nav source to nav 1. 350 is our approach course, and 110.5 is our ILS for the runway 35 here in Bergen. Perfect. So we continue here up to Idava, and somewhere over there should be the airport. Okay, capture the 3000 here. So we can turn now onto the final heading. We can switch to localizer mode. Forgot that to do, but it's not a problem. It's good. And we can go gear down, flaps 5, and we're gonna increase the RPM now. Max RPM. Landing checklist. Ice protection is going to stay on. We're gonna tune the speed bug here to 140. 3. This is going to be our approach course. And we try to keep flaps 10. There comes the glide slope. Oops, fuel pump 1 didn't activate. And the flaps, GPWS checked flaps 15. We can go flaps 15 now and activate the approach course. And there we are, descending down onto the final. Everything else is checked. Bleeds are on minimum. I did that just before approaching. Good. So we're good to go. Let's see how this works. Runway is in sight. We have the minimum set to 350, but we can clearly see the runway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Very nice clouds here. Really nice scenery. I like it. Okay, we go. Autopilot off. Manual flying now. So we have, at the moment you see we have 21 knots coming from our 10 o'clock position. So this is going to be interesting. But it shouldn't be too bad. It's very hard to fly on those windy conditions. I don't know how real world Dash-8 pilots handle situations like that. I just know from real life when I'm flying with my smaller aircrafts, I would not land with full flaps under these conditions. So probably We could land with flaps 10 here also, but I'm gonna try flaps 15. It should work. Okay, so 5 miles to go. Looks very stable now. 24 knots now on wind. Pretty strong. Okay, we're descending now below the glide slope, so let's correct that. Small inputs here. Apply a little power. Put the nose a little bit up. Speed is good. 140, 43. Okay, there we are. Back on the glide, so let's reduce the power a little and put the nose down. Yeah, 26 knots now, coming from, I'd say, 11 o'clock position. That looks good. We're past schedule, behind schedule. I think landing was estimated to be in 14:05, so a few minutes behind schedule. Due to this excessive wind on the route, actually, 1000 to go, this is checked. Due to this excessive wind, actually, this headwind component, it's not too bad actually to lose some minutes only. 25 knots now. So what you do in real life is you constantly, or you can ask the tower for a wind check. They would tell you the wind that that the sensors show on the runway and the touchdown zone. In this case, the wind is constantly blowing from one direction. Pretty stable actually. Okay, there we are. Almost there, almost there.
500.
Okay, now a little bit below. Let's trim a little here. Still stable.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, this was a long landing. Not too bad. Welcome to Bergen, everybody. There we are. Okay, so we're gonna take this exit over here. Ooh, this was a nice landing. A little longer than expected, but yeah, due to this wind, I think it's good. So after landing, checklist. Let's vacate here the runway. Oops. And then we'll focus on the after landing items. Control lock, fuel pump. Somehow the fuel pump deactivates always after landing. Landing lights go off. Collision lights goes to red. Flaps can come up. Mainboss tie goes to tie. We can start up the APU. And yeah, let's head over to the terminal, which is somewhere over there. Let's tell GSX that we take gate number 24. Good. Flight taxi. Ah, yeah, the order. I forgot that. Okay, so not too bad. Could have been better landing, but I'm pretty happy actually with this landing. It wasn't too bad. So. Yeah. That was the flight from Sandefjord up here to Bergen. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, please leave a like. I'm open to comments, obviously. Share your thoughts. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm open to new ideas. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. I'm also going to stream a little bit more live on Twitch in this, hopefully this year. So would love to see you there. And yeah, I thank you very much for watching. I wish you a nice evening, a nice day. Have a great time. Have a great start into 2017. And yeah, see you the next time. Bye bye.